Hey guys, welcome here. In the last lecture we created the rental list component, and in this lecture we'll continue with a state, props and render function. So let's start. Instead of a render function, let's place the debugger like this, and I will place one debugger inside of a render rentals, like this, and one inside of this iteration, just like this. And go to a browsers now. Inspect page. And let's refresh the page so you'll get inside of our application code. And now you can see, before we are displaying anything to a page, we are going to render function. I will forward execution, and now I'm getting to render rentals because here I'm calling it. And I'm iterating our state. You can see this state of rentals, which is just array of 1, 2, 3. So I'm iterating this array, getting inside, and returning rental card. So these rentals will return array of 3 rental cards, and I'm displaying them here. So let's fast forward this execution, and like this we iterated 3 times and we displayed 3 rental cards. Okay, amazing. We can close this tab and let's go back to our coding editors. And here first remove the buggers, like this, from iteration here and also from a render. Alright, and now I want to create a button here, and when you click this button, I want to change the state of the rentals. I want to increase rentals by 1. So same as we have it on a wireframe here I showed you. So button, when you click it, you will add 1 rental to our rentals. Okay, so let's do it. Go back to coding editors. I will create a button here. Just after this div, let's write button. Don't forget to close it, and I will write here add rental, like this. And you can specify even on a button, like this, on click. So this means it will be click even. When you click on a button, you will execute some function, equals. And now we need to create this function. So let's call this function add rental, just like this. And now I can call this function inside of a curly brackets. Let's write this add rental. Alright? And you don't want to call it because this will be called when you click on this button. So don't write here normal brackets. Alright, and now we want to increase our rentals by 1. So I'll create here a new variable. And let's call it rentals. And I will assign to these rentals this state rentals, like this. And now I will push to these rentals a number. So rentals push and just 1. So this will increase the length of the rentals array by 1. Alright, and now I want to change a state. And you need to call a function to change a state. And you call this set state. And you provide the object inside and the property you want to change. And I want to change a rentals, and I want to assign to rentals we specified here. And when you have a same key as a value, you can write it as this, just 1 rentals. You don't need to write it like this. So I will remove 1 rentals here and do the same. Okay, so now we are increasing our rentals length by 1. Okay, so let's see it. Save everything and go to your browsers. Let's wait for refresh, and now you can click add rental here. You can see this button. But we have an error here. Cannot read property state of undefined. And this will happen when you're calling your callback function like this. You have 2 solutions for this. You can place here arrow function, like this. I will provide here arrow function. And instead of this arrow function, I will call this rental. And now I will provide these brackets here. Okay, and let's go back to browsers. And now with the add rental, it's working. I'm adding rental, as you can see. Or a second solution, when you want to keep this call like this, so I will remove arrow function. I can go to a constructor and I can bind this context to this function. So this add rental equals this add rental bind this. I am binding this context of this class to this function because when I called it first time, this was undefined. And this is a big difference. When you're using arrow function automatically binding this context. So that's why one solution is the arrow function here. Okay, but leave it like this, bind this here. And now I will place some debuggers again. So debugger here, and debugger here. Let's save it and go to your browsers. I will inspect the page here. And now I will click add rental. Add rental, and as you can see, I am calling add rental function. And here I am getting rentals from a state. I have our rentals, and I am pushing number 1 to it. So now I will have 1, 2, 3, and 1. Like this, 1, 2, 3, and 1. But it is not important what is inside. Important is that we can iterate this array. And now I'm setting a state of a rentals. And I told you, when you changing a state, you will call a render function again. So let's fast forward execution. And I am going inside of a render rentals. So that means a render function was called and called this render rentals function. So I will fast forward it. And when I click add rental again, I'm getting again here add rental and render rentals. And now you can see that we have a rentals array of 5 elements here. So these 2 ones we added just by clicking add rental. Right? So I hope it's perfectly clean to you right now. So I'm just changing rentals length, and that means I need to iterate more elements, and I'm rendering then 1 more element on the screen. And this whole screen is re-rendered, but you can see it because it's that fast. That's why it's called React, actually. Okay, so you see, I can add rentals like this. Okay, so let's go back to coding editors. And here we can remove these debuggers here, like this. Like this, and actually I will remove this add rental here. We don't need it here, since you understand it. And also this button and binding of this context and this state. I can keep this state, okay, and we leave it like this. All right, guys. So that should be it for this lecture. We still need to explain how props are working. So I want to send some data to our rental card here component, and I will show you how you can do it in the next lecture. So guys, see you in the next lecture.